All right, so we are in standard tuning with a capo on the 3rd fret. Okay, so the sort of the intro riff thing that's also kind of the verse. First chord is this like C major 7, so it's a 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the D string of the 4th string, and 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the A string, the 5th string. And you could finger pick it a couple different ways. I was doing it with just my thumb and my index finger. You could also do it with your thumb, index, and middle. So I'm kind of using that method where my thumb is, it's not a super precise finger picking pattern. You know, it's a little loose. But so for instance, on this chord, you can start by practicing it on this chord. Have your thumb go between the 5 and the 4. And then this is going something like that. So the index finger is swiping through the B and the G strings. And the first one is with the 2nd thumb, so it's like thumb, thumb and index, then thumb alone, then index alone, then thumb alone. 5, 4 and 2, 5, 2, 4. Thumb, thumb and index, thumb, index, thumb, something like that. Anyway, there's a lot of ways you could do it, because it could also be like, but you know, and like I said, it's kind of loose. It could be different ways, but The second chord is this B7. First finger on the first fret of the D string, second finger on the second fret of the A string, third finger on the second fret of the G string. Now in this one you want to get this little melody. So you have these three fingers down, and now it's going to be thumb, thumb, index. Thumb on the A, thumb on the D, index on the G. And then thumb, thumb, index, thumb on the A, index on the B, thumb on the D. 5, 4, 3, 5, 2, 4. 5, 4, 3, 5, 2, 4. Thumb, thumb, index, thumb, index, thumb. A, D, G, A, B, D. So put it together with the first one. Thumb, thumb and index, thumb, index, thumb, 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 index, thumb, index, thumb. A, D and B, A, B, D, A, D, G, A, B, D. Something like that. Anyway, you can play with that. Next one. This is like an A7 sus4. First finger is on the second fret of the D, third finger is on the third fret of the B. And then the third finger immediately resolves down to, it picks up and the second finger takes over on the second fret of the B. So, and this is a similar-ish to the first, the way the picking began. So your thumb is going between A and D. This time your index is going to be on beat 1, playing the B string while the thumb plays the A. Then the thumb plays the D by itself. Then this finger picks up for the second finger, and then the index plays the B again, and then the thumb plays the A, and then plays the D again. So thumb and index, thumb, thumb and index, thumb, A and B, D, A and B, D. Something like that. And then there's this little riff. Now this is where the verse and the sort of riff are different, because in the instrumental parts there's this. So you go up here, this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th fret in relation to the capo. When you're looking at your guitar, I think it's kind of easier to think of it as the 9th fret, because you can kind of see, but that's what fret it is. I'm doing it with my third finger on the G string, 9th fret or 6th fret in relation to the capo. Immediately pull off from 9 to 8 on the G string. Okay. Then play open G. Then I move my third finger over here to the 4th fret in relation to the capo, aka the 7th fret on the D string. So it's like, I'll do all these in relation to the capo. It's 6, 5, open on the G, then 4 on the D, and then open G. This is pulled off, and that might be a pull off too, so that all might be one pull off. Or you could pick it. I think it's all pulled off. And then grab that 4th fret on the D with your third finger, then play open G. And that brings you right back into the beginning of the riff. So it's after you've done this. So, no. Yeah, and kind of at the end, I think it's plays the open B last, which takes you back into the main riff. There's a little variation now. When it doesn't do that on the A7, it tends to do this. So this same idea where you're going from an A sus4, A7 sus4 to an A7. So going from first finger on the second fret of the D and third finger on the third fret of the B to first finger on the second fret of the D and second finger on the second fret of the B. But this time you're gonna take more time in doing it. It's gonna be like, so basically a full bar with the third fret on the B, and then a full bar with the second fret on the B. I think the thumb moves here to going between A and G. And sometimes you can hear this kind of thing. So that's thumb and index together, the thumb on the A and the index on the B. And then you can throw this little open E string in there, 2, 3, and 4, and then take the third finger down to the second finger on the B string and play those together. That makes sense? And then there's this little thing. Open first, second, third on the A string. Do, 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 do. That's basically the riff. I'll do that even slower one time here. Ready? The verse is the same chords, you just don't do any of the extra stuff. You don't do this and you don't do this. So it's kind of like, it's just like C major 7, and the finger picking, yeah, can be a little loose. C major 7, B7, A7 sus4, A7. And again, it's that the thumb I don't think is like always doing this, but basically your thumb is always going A, D, A, D, A, D, A, D, A, D, A, D. Sometimes it's A, G on the A7, I think. You know, and then the index you could do, if you want to do like one pattern over and over again, it could be this. So that's where the index goes on the second thumb and then in between the third and fourth thumb. So it's like thumb, thumb and index, thumb, index, thumb, thumb, thumb and index, thumb, index, thumb. That's not what it does. It doesn't always do that, but that's like that's a simple pattern that you could practice. Sorry, I just didn't do it. Ready? Something like that. And the index finger, you'll notice, right? I talked about this already, but it's sort of swiping back. So it's not just getting the B string, it's getting the G string. And sometimes it can do its own thing, go up to the E string. Anyway, like I said, play with it. So it goes, there's the intro thing, there's the verse, goes back to the intro thing, then it goes to it does the walk up going into the chorus, which is, I think it's a regular C. And then the guitar plays the little melody, the ba-na-na-na. So the way that's going to work is on this C, your thumb is going to be picking between A and D. And then your index is going to pick out that little melody. It's going to go, so on 1, 2, 3, have your index play the open high E string. And then pinky comes fret on the B, and then pick up the pinky, first finger on the first fret of the B. It's open E, pinky playing the third fret on the B, first finger playing the first fret on the B. And it's just even like that, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then G chord, which you could just play like this because these are the only strings you need. My third finger is on the third fret of the low E string. And I can't really hear it super well, but it seems like it just goes into kind of like a, you know, finger picky. When you pick this G chord, your thumb goes between the low E string and the D, and your index can kind of go between the G and the B. This is a very common finger picking pattern that I'm doing. I have a whole video about finger picking. I'll link to it in the bottom. Okay, so it's like, you know, something like that. Let me do that again really slow. Something like that. Then you do this again. Now this time, you're in this regular G, then the pinky grabs the third fret on the B. This is like the melody, Philadelphia, and then back into that B7. And this is index and thumb, index and thumb, index, thumb. Pinky grabs the third fret on the high E, index, thumb on the D. B7. First finger, we've done this chord, but first finger on the first fret of the D, second finger on the second fret of the A, third finger on the second fret of the G. Something like that. So now on this, I'm grabbing on the first beat, I'm grabbing my thumb on the A and my index on the G to get that melody note, right? And then I'm just continuing with thumb now going between the A and the D, and the index going G, G, B. And then it goes to this C major 7 again, the first chord of the song. Second finger on the second fret of the D, third finger on the third fret of the A. I think it goes into this kind of finger picking. Again, really common finger picking pattern. A, D, G, A, B, D. 5, 4, 3, 5, 2, 4. Thumb, thumb, index, thumb, thumb. Does that for like a measure, maybe 2 measures. Yeah, 2 measures. And now, now the melody is B string, bum, 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 bum. Then first finger grabs the second fret on the G, so it's like, and then there's this harmonic. This is the harmonic at the 2, 3, 4, 5, 5th fret, and I'm playing the G string and the B string. I'm getting it with my thumb and my index. So my thumb getting the G and my index getting the B. And this is, if you don't know how to play harmonics, you can look it up or whatever. You just place I'm using my third finger and I'm just placing it over the 5th fret in relation to the capo, which is the 8th fret. And I'm just playing, it's like, right? And that takes you right back into the, back into the riff. I'll just show you this really slowly. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So. Thumb and index, thumb and index, thumb and index, thumb, index, thumb and index playing harmonic. hard to get that. It's hard to get that harmonic. Okay, and then you go right back into the riff, and then it does the riff, another verse, another chorus, the riff a couple times, and ends back on the C major 7. Okay, let me know if you have any questions and if that all makes sense. And thank you very much for watching.